Have you ever wondered who you are when no one is looking? Not the name, not the profession, not the image that you learn to sustain in order to be accepted, but who inhabits your silence? Who is this presence that you feel but cannot explain? Maybe you are living a life that you never chose, wearing papers that were sewn by other hands, and now lost within the mask itself. Carl Jung said, "Until you become aware of what is in the unconscious, he will direct your life." And you will call it destiny. But what does this mean in practice? It means that perhaps your decisions are not really yours. Your desires were not born from within. And what you call me is just the reflection of what others needed you to be. How many times have you felt that something is wrong but could not give a name? How many times a restlessness whispered in the depths of the soul and you muffled with distractions? What if your crisis is not an error but a call? An invitation to question everything you have learned to be. Because while you run away from yourself, it is the unconscious that takes the wheel. And he doesn't ask where you want to go. Are you even living or just being lived? Since the first cry, you have been taught to adapt, to smile when you wanted to scream, to shut up when something burned inside. You learned that there is a right way to exist, an acceptable way of feeling, an invisible primer that dictates what it is to be loved, what it is to be normal, what it is to be someone. But who wrote these rules? The school shaped you, the family trained you, society watched over you. And little by little, what was spontaneous became performance. What was true became character. They called it maturity. But maybe it was just the abandonment of your true self. Jung called it a persona, a social mask, necessary but dangerous. Because when you forget that you are wearing a "she sticks to the face," how many versions of yourself have been invented just to fit into someone else's space? The ideal child, the understanding partner, the efficient professional, the unshakable friend. But where did you feel too much? What do you doubt? What did you dream of something that didn't fit on any shelf? Are you not being suffocated by an identity that was set up to please? Is this silent discomfort that grows inside you not the real I trying to breathe? What if all your anguish is in fact a memory of who you were before becoming what they expected? You look outside and the world demands presence, talk, action, result. But within you is a universe that does not scream, only whispers. Do you feel divided? As if there are two worlds and one of them is always being ignored. Carl Jung understood this long before we became hostages to networks and notifications. He did not see introversion and extroversion as social labels, but as attitudes of the soul. There are times when you need to immerse yourself, withdraw into the silent temple of your own mind. There, ideas take root, emotions are decanted, and the invisible begins to take shape. This is the world of introversion, the world of the symbol, of the inner image, of meaning. But there are also moments when you need to leave. Act, touch, move. Connect what you feel with what you do. This is the world of extroversion, the world of realization, gesture, word. And full life is not in choosing a side, but in creating the bridge. The bridge between inside and outside, between contemplating and manifesting, between being and expressing yourself. Are you living only on one side of the bridge? Are you stuck inside yourself, unable to act? Or do you live acting, not knowing why you do what you do? Wisdom is not in the extremes, but in the delicate balance of who knows when to silence and when to expose. Jung used to say you have to go down into the cave, but you also have to come back with light. And have you been visiting your caves, or are you afraid of what you might find there? Imagine your mind is an old house, full of rooms, some well-lit, others locked so long ago that you forgot they existed. You only inhabit one of these rooms, because there everything seems familiar, comfortable, safe. But what about the others? Carl Jung said that the human psyche has 4 main functions, 4 ways to perceive and interact with the world, 4 rooms of this interior house. Thought, logic that analyzes, organizes, separates. The clarity of ideas that build bridges between cause and effect. You live in this room if you need to understand everything before feeling. The feeling, the invisible compass of emotions. He measures the world not in facts, but in value. He asks, does it have a soul? Is it true? You live in this room if you live for what touches your heart. It doesn't matter if it seems irrational. The sensation, it is the touch of consciousness. It anchors you in the present, in concrete, in what can be seen, heard, smelled. If you need to touch to believe, it is in this room that you live. The intuition, it is the flash, the knowledge that came not by logical steps, but by images that spring from the dark. She sees beyond the visible. She feels. Now listen carefully. The room you avoid most is the one that holds your greatest treasures. Jung said that the lower function, the one we ignore, lives in the shadows. And it is there that resides our repressed power, our hidden potential. Are you stuck in the room where you feel safe? Or are you willing to open doors? Crossing the dust, fear, confusion to find parts of you that never had a voice? Individuation begins when you stop running away from the whole house. Because until you know all your rooms, you do not know yourself. And then you come to the most feared door of your inner house, the one who was locked in childhood, where the impulses you did not know how to explain live, the fears that taught you to deny, the anger that has been silenced, the desire that has shamed you. This is shadow territory. But listen carefully. The shadow is not your bad side. The shadow is what you were forced to hide to be loved, to be accepted, to survive. It's everything you repressed because they said it was too much or not enough. Too much for others to bear, less to deserve attention. But Jung reminds us, he who looks out dreams. He who looks inward awakens. And to look inward is also to look at the shadow. What you avoid most may be exactly what completes you. The courage that you repress is disguised as aggressiveness. The sensitivity that you suffocate hides under the sarcasm. The power you fear lives in a mask of self-sabotage. You do not heal yourself becoming someone perfect. You heal yourself becoming whole. Integrating the shadow is not beating, it is sitting with it. Hear it, say, I see you, and even so, I remain. Because only when you embrace what rejected the unconscious to sabotage you from behind and begin to guide you from within, the liberation you seek is not in the light. It is in the darkness that you have had the courage to illuminate. You're not here by chance. Something in you remembered, even if you still do not know exactly what. Maybe it's just a whisper, a feeling in the chest, an intuition that something needs to change, or maybe you need to finally be born. You've spent your life trying to fit in, and now feel that you're too tight inside your own skin, as a soul that has grown and no longer fits in the character they invented for her. But there is no formula for what comes after. There is no step-by-step to become real. The path of transformation is not a ladder. It is a spiral. Sometimes you think you are coming back, but it's going deeper. And the deeper, the more true. The world will try to pull you back down. Will offer distractions packed as relief, status disguised as success, likes in place of belonging, old masks with new promises. But you have already tasted the depth. And now there is no way to pretend that you do not know. Revelation is not something you receive. It is something you remember. You're not here to fit in. You're here to reveal yourself. And no, this path won't give you all the answers, but maybe for the first time it gives you the right questions. Because the journey of becoming who you are doesn't start with certainty. It starts with a break, with a nagging question with a mirror that you finally had the courage to face. So now I ask you, if you are not the name, the position, the paper, who are you when all this falls? If you want to find out, you'll have to enter the whole house and turn off the lights to see what still shines. What in you is asking to be born but still lives hidden? What did you see in this mirror that can no longer be seen? Perhaps the answer you are looking for is precisely in the part that you avoided most. Maybe your true self is not far away, just waiting to be recognized. Share here in the comments which part of this text most touched you. Send this content to those who are also feeling tight inside their own skin. And if this text made you think differently, please Because sometimes a click is the beginning of change. You're not alone on this journey. And that conversation can still open many doors. See you in the next video.